Good evening, you're on board with Crossy for site for female gaming, and for once, one of the games has started a little bit earlier than expected, only by a minute or two, but we are good to go now. Just 1 or 2 minutes before the estimated start time of 9 PM European time, and we are underway. The knife round has just gone through, and for the first time we're going to see a map that's a little bit different to Dust 2. We've got Inferno this time, and it is going to be Overgaming, who we saw get trounced pretty comfortably earlier on by Imaginary, the French team. Going to be taking on another French team here, which is Ultimate. I haven't seen any of them so far. It'd be interesting to get the first look at these guys and what they have to offer. If it's anything on the level of Imaginary, then it could well be interesting seeing how these guys, or girls is probably a better way of saying it now, will progress throughout this tournament. Straight away we've got a nade from AIM straight down Banana, which will have done some damage, and straight away we've got some action there, and then it comes out on top with the first frag taking down AIM. Nasty training back on LKS in the mid area, and it's all kicking off here on the A site. 80 with the frag on Ceres at the back of site. Rima though, great control there on 80, with a couple of USB shots to the dome. And numbers favouring Ultimate here already. A nuke taken down straight away by Rima, who pushes into the garden, tries to get aggressive on Yenny, who comes out on top, but with 2 players swarming into the site, that is more than enough, and is going to be first round to the French team Ultimate. I'm just going to throw in a quick retry here because part of my heads-up display is missing, but with the first round gives them an advantage to push on, having amassed enough money, and okay, so looks like we're going to have to go without the player names at the bottom of the screen. That's a little bit annoying, but nothing we can't handle. We've got Nasty and Rima mowing down the whole of Overgaming. P90 rush. That's the way to get it done. In fact, I might just go with a quick reboot a Counter-Strike. That's probably not a bad idea. But apologies to this, guys. We wait an hour and a half for the game to get up and running, and then I end up with a PC that just isn't able to handle it. So let's just get things up and running real quick. Let's see if this fixes things. We can always hope. And it has. Can't beat the good old turn it off and turn it back on again. Usually fixes things. And as expected, Overgaming are up against it. 4 versus 3. As Ultimate looks to piggyback through and make advantage of the weapons. But as you might be able to notice with the heads-up display that I've got up and running, as LKS goes for an attempt to get into the B site. Bit of a tough ask because there's on either side over there. But Overgaming decided to go for a buy-up, and there's Yenny going down to the flames, leaving 80 last girl standing against Rima and Ceres. So let's see what happens here. We're going to see a bit of clutch. Could well happen because 80's already got the one. That's Ceres. Rima maybe could have had an opportunity to push in there, but decided to run the clock down instead. So good play all in all. Good time management. And it is going to be 3-0 to Ultimate. Overgaming went for a buy there, which they did try against Imaginary as well. And that's the second time. No, wait, hang on. No, that is right. They did try that against Imaginary, and it didn't work out in their favour. So, second time we've seen that fail. As Rima gets taken down to half HP, and Xanto does manage to push through into the T-Apps with a bit of backup from second mid and does take down Nasty there. Ball with Cerise, might get some action if a nuke tries to step. Orp had a heavy advantage there. Minute left on the clock. Overgaming have all 5 players left alive. Ultimate have lost one. And we're going to see a push come in out onto the A site. Clara manages to get Xanto before she drops out, and then Rima mops up AD and Yenny as they try and get out. A nuke does get Rima coming in from the quad side. And they've got a player on the site as well, but they will have to try and sneak a plant in the next 30 seconds, knowing that they've got ultimate players swarming around. LKS goes with the pistol, trying to take down AIM, and isn't able to do so. So that is going to be another round to ultimate 4-0. Looking pretty solid here, but we can't go singing Ultimate's praises just yet. They've won a couple of pistol rounds and some slightly questionable money management, you could say, from Overgaming. Decided to take a gamble and didn't pay off. So this is the first real buy versus buy we're going to see here. Xanto with the AWP pick on Banana, but Rima's got in straight behind. It could do some serious damage. That's 2 frags straight away, and AD has done pretty well getting in behind herself, but is flanked in all directions. So that was just messy from both teams, really. Managed to let players get in behind them and really unleash with a couple of kills apiece. Bomb has got planted over at the other site. Cerise there with the AWP has got LKS and a nuke to deal with. Rima on the rotate around. We saw her just a minute ago at the other site, and she is there. Cerise wisely choosing to wait. Rima goes in aggressively, got a nuke to deal with in the ruins, and comes out on top. LKS last standing against 2. Cerise only needs the P250 to mop it up. And in the first real buy versus buy, it is Ultimate coming out on top. After a baffling situation, really, the whole of Overgaming got themselves clogged up here in Banana. Had 2 players come down behind, do some serious damage, and at the meantime they also had a player, and they had AD come in behind and screw up these girls that were in the mid trying to get in behind. So very strange. You don't normally see that sort of thing happening, but it is a sign to both teams that you've got to make sure that if you're going to spend any time somewhere, you're covering behind you, because players can get quite aggressive. They can rotate early, especially if you make enough noise. And what a shot that is from Cerise. We just caught that through the flash. That is a double AWP shot, and you don't want to line up for those, but you could kind of see it coming. As per popular request, we have got X-ray running on this, so you could see players looking like they might line up there on Banana, and that is exactly what they've done. It's more like a duck shoot than anything else. They've decided they are going to commit to this B push anyway. Yenny going straight in with the bomb. Probably should have gone gun out, to be honest. But maybe they're thinking, let's just get the money in. Tough ask now, they can't do that. Gonna have to work a save, but 45 seconds left to go on the clock, and 5 players to find. It's like LKS is going to play this aggressively. Manages to get 1, but is taken down. I think maybe taking the right move there and just getting the heck out of there. Could have Clara and Rima swarming around. Might decide to check up there. Let's see if Rima's going to cotton onto anything.
Counter-terrorists win.
Pre-fire in every corner. And maybe if there'd been 10 more seconds on the clock, there might have been a bit of a battle going on there, but it doesn't happen. And Nick gets away with an AK. And we are seeing another full buy from Overgaming. So 6-0 it is. Overgaming spreading out. Not trying to commit too much. You can see LKS down at the bottom picking up banana. And no one from Ultimate's been too aggressive. Haven't seen players getting up to cars too often. Quite happy to sit on the site. And as we're talking about in Dust 2, don't have any problem with doing that. The terrorists have to get on the attack. They have to get that bomb planted. And they've only got, well, sub 2 minutes to do it in. So the one thing you don't want to do is get yourself picked off early, trying to do something crazy, and then open up an angle for your opposition to exploit. As Cerise comes out with the opening AWP pick, taking down LKS, and that is a good situation to be in. Opening picks are fine on terrorists. That's what you're looking for. We see Aim could get some action, got a chance to spray down 4 and does manage to make 2. Is she going to make the third one? No, but she doesn't need to because Cerise and Nasty are in there to mop up. You could just kind of see there, 1 against 4, you'd think not great, but coming in on the arch with 4 players stacking up, not really knowing you're there and not really having the angle to shoot at you without nailing teammates, it gives you the opportunity to really rack up a couple of frags, and that's exactly what Aim did. Great play there from Ultimate altogether. And when you see a rush coming in there and you've got one player that's facing it head on, if you've got 2 players coming in to back you up, as Ultimate get a little more aggressive on the banana area, and it seems like it may have cost them as Overgaming go barreling in. Nice shot from Rima though, already on the rotate up by the truck / tree, and manages to get LKS. As Zanto AWP at the back of sight has got 2 coming from banana, and this is a tough place to make shots from. Misses a fairly routine one there on Klar, and this is going to be a really tough ask now. Yanni goes down, Klar pushing through the smoke. Zanto with 1 no scope, didn't manage to get the second one. Still has a chance and does make it, and this could be huge now from Zanto if she could take down Nasty, and misses another routine shot. Coming down, is it going to be a third no scope? No, it's not. And this could be enough. It is enough. And great play in the end from Zanto. But that's a bit of a sign. Couple of shots in there that were easier, fairly routine, that she missed and would have made that situation a whole lot less stressful. But I guess it's the result that counts. Overgaming get their first round on the board, which they will be very happy to see. And maybe we've got a bit of a game on here after all. I will just show you the scoreboard here, so I realise I haven't done that yet. Apologies. You can see Rima leading from the front, 13 and 3. Cerise not far behind, 10 and 3. Overgaming again, no one really standing out and unleashing the frags. Rima manages to get an opening pick on Zanto, but Anouk grabs Klar, getting a little bit too aggressive there into apps. And now this has really opened up the A site. A and LKS trying to push into that quad area, and with 3 players against 1, Nasty was always going to struggle there. AD picks up the frag in the end. Got 1 player coming in through the balcony. And bomb planted. So Rima with the AWP on board at the moment, round about Little Pit. Looking into the big pit, seeing if there's any action there. LKS manages to grab Aim in the meantime. Cerise with 2 picks round about mid-quad. So good work there. But still got a bit of work to do. Decides to switch to the AK, and it doesn't work out too well as Yenny's in there getting the pick from lower. Rima, tough ass now, decides to go straight for the defuse. Always going to be ambitious, but with 1 player in the apps and 1 player in the boiler room, and not a lot you can do there unless you pull off a couple of sick jumping no scopes, and there's not that many people that can do that. So 7-2, and Clark with the team now taking down Aim. That's not going to be good, as LKS and Yenny get a couple of frags as well for Ultimate, and LKS with a second, grabbing Cerise, who got a little bit too aggressive. Nasty tries to get a couple with the pistol, and that is exactly what she does, but still got to try and find 3 more somehow as Yenny goes and throws a plant down. Nasty's just going to grab an AK and get out of there. Let's go back and take a look at the financials. So Ultimate probably going to be able to scrape a buy if Nasty can get a weapon and some kind of armour. She'll probably drop that AK for Claw or drop a gun. The rest of them will be able to throw out a buy. And Overgaming starting to build a bit of momentum now. Again, Inferno, another one of those maps that can go either way. Started off as being a CT-sided map back in the Source days. You could argue it's gone the other way now since CSGO's come out. But again, it's like anything. If you're playing on CT side and you get a bit too aggressive and get picked off early, then it's going to make it far too easy for the terrorists. If you're passive and you hold in and you don't get picked off and you watch your angles properly, then again, it's a tough ask to the terrorists. They've got to be aggressive. They've got to make things happen in that situation, and it's down to them and whether they can make those entry picks, whether they can out-frag you, and it just adds a little bit of challenge to it. And the way that a map plays still has a heck of a lot to do with the skill of the team to a point, and also the way in which they play it as a team, as a unit, and their approach. So no map really plays particularly one-sided, and that applies for all. As Cerise makes the opening pick on Xanto, did have a pretty open shot at LKS as well, but didn't manage to take it, unfortunately for her. But they have got the one pick already, so numbers do favour the CTs, but that's been evened up as Anouk has managed to grab Nasty over the other side. Clark evens it up, and then Rima leans it straight back in favour of Ultimate. LKS, last girl standing, trying to make something happen, does get another frag, taking down Rima. Cerise cracks off an AWP shot, but isn't able to land that. So 2v1. About 20 seconds left on the clock. LKS does have the bomb, but isn't going to be planting it in a particularly favourable position. Cerise decides to push up when they hear the plant sound, and now they're trying to get the pincer movement. This is really tough now, and LKS couldn't make anything happen against those two. Did get the bomb plant though, which is going to help them financially. Overgaming will be looking to buy again. A couple of players on or just over 10k. So they might be able to scrape something again next time around if they can. But this game is really in the balance here. Depending on how it goes, Ultimate could close this one out, make it 11-4 or 12-3, and they'll be very happy with their performance on that. Or Overgaming could bring it to a 9-6 or an 8-7, and they'll be feeling very confident about their chances as long as they win pistol on the CT and get it locked down. Cerise deciding to be a little more aggressive. This hasn't worked out all that well for Ultimate on that banana area the last time they tried it, but has come off alright this time with LKS going down. Overgaming decided to slow the pace just a little bit. Still got a minute left to go on the clock. Xanto pushing up, getting a little more aggressive on banana. Yenny carrying the bomb up to back up there. So Nuke going to try and work something with a bit of help and slide in and try and get behind B and help facilitate the bomb. I think that could be the plan. But we do see Ultimate with the advantage and does manage to pick up 80 there as well. That was a tense moment with Cerise scoping up. But also Cerise picks up another frag. Aim mops up and it is 9-3 to Ultimate. Scrub buy, upgraded pistols only for Overgaming. A few players could buy, 3 of them couldn't. They're going to drop this one, try and get to 10-5 if they can. Going to try and work something up banana. Have been slowed down a little bit by that Molotov. Smokes and Molotovs are brilliant at just slowing down the pace of a game. Stopping the team from going and hitting you fast. And then at this point, if you've got 5 players there throwing things into the site, you've got time to call that. and maybe get a team to rotate. But AIM in there with the spray down, doesn't need a rotate, already got 3. One's made it onto the site though, that is Xanto, and LKS is trying to come in. So AIM probably going to deal with LKS. Rima, great shot through the smoke, taking down Xanto. How did she see that? LKS last to go. Nasty comes in behind. Cerise gets the defuse. And it is going to be 10-3 as expected. Overgaming, getting the plant down. Did a lot better in that situation than I thought they were going to, especially after AIM sprayed 3 down straight off the bat. So fair play to them. I think they got about all that they could out of that particular round. So as we look at the scores, Cerise with the AWP. Pretty much top of the shop. Rima's got more frags, but it's a points game. It's a team game, you could say, as well. LKS leading the way, but still some way off being a positive score as Cerise pushes up to the car, feeling a lot more confident, and gets LKS again. But Xanto trades up with an AWP of her own and is now looking to try and peek mid, but Ultimate aren't hugely aggressive on that. No easy kills. Clar's got the chance to get 80 here, and a nuke walking up as well. Clar gets tagged down to about half HP, and so does... oh no, a nuke's down to 12, so might have copped one of those in the face. Just under a minute left to go. 4 players still alive for both teams. A nuke being wary of that push from behind. Might be a move down banana. AIM instead deciding to play that one on the site. May want to start getting on the move though, because they'll be calling big action coming here onto the other site. And Xanto comes out with the opening AWP pick. Rima firing straight back, taking down Xanto and gets a second. That's the bomb down now as Yenny goes down. Clara in the pit trying to help out and does a good job taking down a nuke. So this is probably going to go to Ultimate 80, last girl standing, and is caught by AIM, who rotated perfectly in from behind. I was thinking maybe she could have gone a bit earlier, but it turns out she was coming through at exactly the right moment to get that last player. But good hold from Ultimate. Not seeing a full buy from Overgaming. A couple of Galils out. They do all have armour and helmet though, which they'll be happy about. So he's going for a cheeky AWP pick. Switching up to mid this time. AIM is playing a bit more aggressively and is taken down. Hasn't had any joy from that sandbags area. Nuke going to try and walk up mid here. So having a couple of shots, manages to matrix out the way of an AWP shot, but still got Nasty there in the arch as well. A Nuke trying to take down another player in the library area, and instead she switches and gets Nasty, but Clar does finish the job there from the library on a Nuke in the end. So it is numbers favouring Overgaming. 4 versus 3. 45 seconds left to go. Bomb on the way in. Orpa is Rima at the back of the site. Got one already. If they go one at a time, it could be trouble. And it seems like they might have got the message here and have started to go en masse. Clar on the rotate behind. Let's see this. In fact, Rima's doing fine on her own, and Clar comes in and just is there to finish the job. Rima, great defensive work at the back of the site there, AWP in hand, and as I mentioned there, if you've got an AWP bedded in at the back, the worst thing you can do is go one at a time. You just got to swarm, spread out, take them down early, and if they'd done that, they probably could have got a plant and maybe used that AWP against Ultimate. But that is not going to be the case. So it is 12-3 to the French team. Overgaming looked like they could be on the way to their second loss here, but you never know if they can keep it together, win the pistol, get the next 2, take it to 12-6. There is still a chance for a comeback. Well, pushing through, trying to get aggressive on Xanto, and great shot from Xanto, running backwards with a couple of headshots. That is sick play, and when you need to come up with a pistol round, that is exactly the sort of thing you want. Especially since the Glock is so much more overpowered. But Nasty gets a heap at the back of the head. That's a team kill. And then Xanto comes in to grab Nasty. So it's Cerise, last girl standing. And awesome effort from Overgaming there. So they're going to try and piggyback through, get the next 2 rounds, take it to 12-6. As you see, Reamer opening up a bit of a gap at the top with 21 frags. Big gap between Cerise at 17 and Aim at 11. Ultimate going aggressive here on the B site. Anouk got 2 with a nade. Anouk's got 3. Make that 4. He's taken down. Had the chance of a 5 girl. Doesn't make it. That's down to Reamer on her own. Against 3. Swag 7 does the job. Nice work from LKS, and that is going to be the chance for a defuse. Nice job getting the plant though. So let's see what we've got here. Anouk playing a little bit more aggressively than Ultimate tended to. While trying to spam up there. Let's get on board. We may see some action. Anouk decides to step out. Potentially, Aidy's there trying to get the crossfire, and it hasn't quite worked out, or maybe it has. Anouk sort of stepped round the corner to try and back up Aidy there behind the sandbags, and ended up walking straight into the iron sights of one of the opposition. But it has worked out. They managed to get 2 to 1. So instead, Ultimate decide they try and change it up and go to the other site, but that's not worked out particularly well for them either. LKS low HP might be an easy frag, and is. Still got Xanto, who's taken down by Cerise. Great work. And she's been dominant with the AWP in hand. Proves she can do it with an AK as well if she has to. See, welcome to the clutch on Aim's gun. They're going to need it here. They can turn this 4-on-2 into a winning situation. Then fair play to them. Yenny will have seen Aim's head. She gets flashed in there. And Yenny goes in. Does manage to get the kill. Cerise bedded in on the site. Gets swarmed from both directions, and good work there from Overgaming. Didn't put themselves in a position where they could have got picked off one by one. Didn't go the same route. Timed it perfectly, so no amateur arrow there from those two, and as we called, has gone to 12-6 here. So first, oh no, it's not going to be a first buy versus buy, because we've got Deagles and CZ75s coming in from Ultimate. And they are going en masse, and it's not worked out well. AD with the spray down's already got 3, and Nuke's got the chance to mop up, and that is exactly what happens. So that did not take too long at all. I think Ultimate needs to start rethinking the strategy of barreling straight into the B site, because they're a little too strong there. If you've got to do it properly, you've got to get your flashes, you've got to get your smokes, and it's got to be pretty much perfect, or that sort of thing can happen. One flash blinded the front runner, and then from that point it was just spray him down. Cerizo's got AWP in hand, and this could get dangerous. Xanto already gone down, and they're trying to get aggressive down Banana. It's worked out so far. AD picks up the frag, and it is 4 versus 4. And quite wisely, AD and Anouk decide to take a step back. There's a swarm of Ultimate players down there that could have done some serious damage to them. And with Overgaming up against it, they need to put plenty of rounds on the board, get the confidence back up, and start to make Ultimate worry and think, what more could we have done on CT's side? And the answer is not a lot. Nuke in the library. Switch sights and LKS in there with the crossfire. Got Cerise to take down as well, and that is exactly what she does. Bomb down. Nasty coming in from quad. LKS drifts across to try and help out, and does a really good job. Great play from LKS. Bedded herself in on the site over here at 8. And from that point she was able to help out. Help out Nuke from the library area. Help out the pit player by sweeping in. And it worked out really well in that she kind of used both of her teammates as decoys. It's a little bit different to baiting. Or I would like to think so. Because you're helping them out and backing them up in these situations. Cerise gets LKS and Yenny, who both get way too aggressive. I don't know what's going on here with Overgaming. It worked out last round with the push down banana, but only just. And there has to be times when you have to sit in. Otherwise you end up now with an attacking team getting the opportunity to come at you. And Xanto does get one with the AWP in pit. But from that point, if you're getting swarmed by 3 players, you're in some serious trouble. And it did not take long for Ultimate to catch on to that. Anouk trying to peek there from Little Pit. Cerise had a chance to rip her face off. Didn't take it. Didn't land a single shot, in fact. And Anouk tries to step. And as soon as she does, Rima's there cutting off the angle. Leaving AD to leg it away from the chasing pack of players. And Ultimate, I'm going to take us to 13-8. Let's have a look at the finances. Absolutely fine. Overgaming are going to be buying. And it looks like AD will just about survive that one, but 13-8. I think the comeback, it was looking real for a while, but I think that may have been crushed now. You notice AD and Anouk deciding to be a little more passive this time around, aren't going to try and get aggressive, and they've learned from that. Same thing happening at mid, the players are sat in more routine spots. Anouk rotating maybe a little bit too early here. I mean, what will they have seen that's made them decide to do that? Especially with 3 players stacking up at the bottom of Banana, they decide to go fast. When that smoke is signalling they may well decide to do, then it might give them the opportunity to get in. Clark goes to grab the bomb from mid. Just under a minute left to go on the clock. Smoke goes in, and Rima maybe went a little bit too early, but the flash managed to save him, and she's out, and we'll get through that smoke. I'm going to have action from Library, from Pit, from behind them. At Arch, and Anouk's in there trying to do some damage. Maybe stepped out in the open and got tagged, but LKS is also in there with a frag. Cerise and Rima firing in, and Cerise has got a second. So from a time when Ultimate looked like they might have been in trouble, they've got themselves onto the site, and it is 2v2. Xanto with the AWP. It's going to be quite a dangerous prospect in there, but you just take that out of the equation by not stepping into a firing line. Rima can probably do that quite easily from back in the site. Cerise not so much, but good crossfire between Rima and Cerise, leaving AD last one. Trying to push in, gets blinded, steps into Cerise's angle. That was risky, but manages to get away with it just about. And what's she going to try and work here? Got a player on either side. Pistol out, does get down Rima. Needs to reload and get this kill as quickly as she can. Isn't able to do it. Not sure if she even had a kit there, and it is going to be 14-8. Let's look at the money. Ultimate fine. Overgaming probably going to couple a buy together, and you can see there AD, LKS and Anouk building much healthier looking scores, and Xanto and Yenny not doing too bad either, but it's been Rima and Cerise for Ultimate leading the way. Huge performance, and I like this Ultimate side. I'm not sure how well they'll square up against Imaginary or Bad Monkey Gaming later on, but the way that they're playing, the way they're covering each other, for example. If there's a firefight and there's a player nearby, then there's a second player coming in to back up more often than not. Cerise working up there and showing good individual play against AD. Nice and patient. cut off the angles. And 4v3, they're going to be looking to wrap up the draw here if they can. I know they've got the advantage, but they don't want to do anything too silly by pushing in. And they're making a gamble here, or overgaming, by all sticking around the A side, but it could pay off. And Nuke's got one. Nasty trades, though. And still the numbers game is in their favour. Yenny brings it back even, and Yenny gets the second frag as well. That's Rima going down, so it's 1v1. Bit of a dance around the site. 30 seconds left to go. Cerise knows exactly where Xanto is, but she's got to find a way to work herself in there. Xanto's going to hide behind cover, potentially expose herself, but Cerise couldn't do a lot about it. This is tense, but Cerise is spamming through those boxes. And that is, of course, one thing that you can do if you know where they are. Crack a few shots through it. Now, don't commit your whole clip in, just in case the player decides to jump out and nail you. But that is the draw in the bag, 15-8. Our Ultimate going to mix it up and go with a bit of speed and pace here. He's on for a possible 30 bombs, so is Rima, depending on how this round goes. All kicking off in second mid so far. It looks like they've decided they might go and make a move on to B. I'm going to grab the bomb and come in behind. It's 80 with the sole control of B. And Nuke scrambling to rotate. If Ultimate move fast here, they could be well onto something, and the Nuke has decided to step back onto A. Nasty going to come in behind, so it's going to be a 5-girl push with 80 at the back of sight. 80 gets one, but is very quickly taken down. Plant's going to come in. 4v4. Nasty could get Xanto here through the smoke, and she does exactly that. So that spot with Banana locked up. Cerise has got one. And Nuke manages to get into the ruins, but this could be game over here. That nade's going to do some damage and take both of them down to less than half HP. And Nuke going to walk out. Two players there watching the angle. And Nuke taken down even further. Clara now switches up, watches the garden. Throws flashes in there, tries to slow down, playing the clock. Nuke 7 HP probably should have gone down there, but it doesn't matter as Nasty comes in from Banana, makes that final frag, and that is GG. Very good work from Ultimate. Impressive performance. I like the way they play. Seem to have the team element down, which is so important. No solo players going off and get themselves picked off early. I think they might struggle against one or two of the other teams we've seen so far. Bad Monkey Gaming, after their performance against Imaginary, looked like the team to beat. But I'm glad to see Ultimate in here are going to put up a half-decent challenge by the looks of things, and could get entertaining. So depending on how time goes, I think there is going to be one more game tonight, so we'll see what sort of update we get on that. And action is going to be kicking off tomorrow with the finals on Sunday. So lots of good stuff still to come from Gamegune 2014. Keep it locked to fesport.com, the premier coverage site for female gaming, where we'll be bringing you all of the action.